Oh, hi! I didn't see you there. I was just watching one of my favorite movies. Or was I playing one of my favorite games? Who knows? All that matters is that these never come together. Or does it? I don't know. Should movies and video games be kept apart? Let's go find out. Hey Max, what are you doing? Well, that's nice. Do you reckon that they should make movies about video games?
No.
Well, there we have it, folks. The answer is no. Thanks for watching. Just kidding, that's not even a funny gag. Basically, let's look at it this way. We have adaptations of books. Book adaptations work. You get good movies from books. So, American Psycho, the Harry Potter series. A favourite of mine, Watership Down. It's about bunny rabbits. Beautiful. But the same is never really said about video game movie adaptations. It's just not. Only 2 internationally released video game movies have even received a 50 or higher on Metacritic, that being the Prince of Persia film, which got a 54, and Mortal Kombat, which got a 50. Why is that? Do video games just not have good stories? Do they just not translate to the passive linear movie film experience? Why are video game movies so bad? To start off, I think we should look at some of these movies. First of all, one of the first and most awful ones, the Super Mario Brothers film. It's just, I don't even know where to start with this one. I'm just gonna let you watch. I'm gonna let you watch some of it. Yeah.
You can't get rid of him.
See you later, alligator. And become a loyal child of the royal family. Goomba.
This film was released in 1993 with a budget of 48 million and it grossed about 20 million. So, complete box office failure, getting video game movies off right on the wrong foot. A few of the reasons why you could say it failed spectacularly would be the fact that, Mario games didn't have much of a story in the first place. They still don't really. The princess has been taken by an evil turtle dinosaur, and the plumber man has to go and save her by stomping on smaller turtles and mushroom things. Great. So there's no real story. So the main thing that it would be adapting would be the visuals, kind of the aesthetic, and the mood, which it doesn't. So really the only thing is the names of the characters. Which means it shouldn't have even happened in the first place. Really, it's not really an adaptation. It's an adaptation in the loosest sense, and it's just terrible. Awful. Next, we're going to look at one that is very near and dear to my heart. Here we go. Just kidding. It's actually this one. Warcraft 2016, the highest grossing video game adaptation of all time, 160 million budget, 433 million grossing in the box office. Most of that actually coming from China, which is interesting. It stars Australian actor Travis Fimmel, most known for his time in Vikings, great show. And it kind of has the opposite problem to the Mario film, in that it caters too much to the fans of the games and not enough to people who may just be coming to watch a fantasy film. The director is Duncan Jones, who is known for the film Moon, won lots of awards, and he's also the son of David Bowie, so you know he's a creative guy. Yes, the main problem is it has too much going on. Too many little things skipped over, important things are skipped over to make way for little details, like the fact that the inn they go to is the same as the inn in the game. like it's built the exact same. You look at it as a fan of the games, you go, "Wow, that's the inn. Huh, I've been in there. It's kind of cool." And there's always little things like, "Wow, that's really accurate. I've been there. I've seen that before," and that's great. But it's a high fantasy film with all these different things being introduced. All of a sudden, there's a giant portal, and there's orcs coming out of it, and there's this evil magic, and there's good magic, and the good magic's blue, and the evil magic's green, and then the blue, and he gets it, and then there's a thing, and he flies on it, and it's just too much. There's always names being introduced, all these people, all these places that mean nothing really if you don't know them already. Originally, the film was longer. It's currently, the release is 123 minutes. Apparently, Duncan wanted it to be much longer, but the executives, no, shorten it down. Has to be sellable. It's too long. It can only be 2 hours. You can't sell a film that's longer than 2 hours. So they cut it down, which is probably part of the reason why it's a bit jagged, hard to follow, and there's things missing. But yeah, despite making quite a reasonable amount of money, it was still seen as a critical and financial disappointment. So it's just another, as much as I like it, it's another video game adaptation that failed as a movie. Even though I would still recommend giving it a watch on Netflix if you want to watch a silly fantasy film. It's pretty cool. Do it. Last but not least is one of the higher rated films in this genre, Mortal Kombat. The film gets a bit more love than the other films because it finds a nice middle ground between the issues of the first and the second film we looked at, in that it stays true to the games to a reasonable amount, but it also makes it digestible just to the common audience. It's not a great film by any stretch, but it's fun. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? You put the lackluster story and the pretty bad acting aside, and you've got some interesting, early special effects for its time, and you've got some pretty fun action that anyone can really enjoy. Sure, the film could have been better with a bit of work on the story, but that can be said about a lot of films. It's on the right track for what a video game film should be. Another thing to consider is the fact that video games with good stories, and they do exist, take place over the course of many hours, not just 2-3 hours that you get with a movie. They're very long. And they have this time to build characters and make you like the characters, build the worlds, which a movie can't really do justice. Which leads me into what can we do to make these films better. So if you look at intricate books like Game of Thrones, wouldn't work as a film, I don't think, but it works as a TV series because it's long and intricate. There's lots of details, and arguably the best video game adaptation to another media isn't a film, it's a television show, and this the Pokemon. People like Pokemon. Pokemon is a good show, it's a great kids show, and it wouldn't work really as a film. If you look at the films, they made some films and they did awfully. They got terrible reviews, no one liked them. Which is sad because I have good fond memories of the first one, but apparently they did terribly. Who knows? So what I suggest is that if we're going to be adapting modern video games, why not TV shows? And there is something coming up that's kind of like that. Netflix is releasing a series for The Witcher. And yes, The Witcher is originally a series of books, and that is what the show is going to be based off. It is much more known for its series of video games, Witcher 1, 2, and 3. Brilliant. So, maybe if this goes well, it can lead into more shows being adapted from video games. Who knows? There's only one way to find out, and let's wait for it to come out and watch it. So yeah, I remain cautiously optimistic. So, in the end, I can never really be sure. You can't pinpoint one exact problem. Maybe it's just bad luck. But will there ever be a truly good video game adaptation on film? I don't know. I can only hope. But the best way to start is looking at why they haven't gone well so far. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Thanks. Thanks, guys.